Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So we've got good news and bad news. Let's just jump right in. I mean, there's a lot of news here. Bad news, PacWest plummets 40% as it explores potential sale. Not so good. Good news is you're not alone. Western Alliance becomes latest bank to explore potential sale. And I was like, oh no. And this is something that we've talked about in the past where all of these things are connected and the dominoes start to fall. And moreover, again, you're not alone. First Horizon stock plunges after merger deal with TD Bank mutually terminated. So now banks don't want to buy each other. TD's like, I don't want to deal with you. First Horizon says, I never wanted your love anyway. So I guess they call that off. And other headline, regional bank shares dive as investors fret about contagion. That is the concern, right? Is how widespread is this going to go? And the problem with our system, and I'm sure you guys know this, is everything's based on borrowed money, essentially, is how our system works. Because basically, if I want to make money, for example, I borrow money from you, I go buy a house, and then I go, find someone to rent said house. If I can't find someone to rent said house, suddenly I can't pay you back. And then you borrowed money from someone else, and you can't pay them back. And then that person probably borrowed someone from someone else, and they can't pay. You get the point. It's a domino, and it's a real problem of how our system is. And then the other problem is banks often don't have enough cash for everyone, considering that if everyone wanted to come to the bank and get the money because they're kind of concerned, and then the bank's like, crap, I can't give my cash to everyone because we don't have enough. That's just how banks work. They're always lending it out in order to make money. And this is sort of why it's all built on trust. Moreover, trust has been broken in Carl Icahn. I don't know if you guys heard about this one. I honestly didn't even have a chance to read through the report. This was coming from Hindenburg Research, was saying, he's a fraud, Ponzi-like economic structure, etc. And it's kind of crazy because this was coming after the Adani situation over in India, because Hindenburg Research did a thing on them, and then like his, net worth plummeted by massive amounts. I think Carl Icahn lost like 20% or something like that in a day. It was something of that nature. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to look through it to see if their claims seem outrageous or false, etc. But I'll just say Hindenburg was right on Adani, and I have no reason to question them again. But again, I haven't checked it out for myself. And if anyone has, please write in the comments on this one. There's just too much crazy things going on right now. It's bad too when even a Warren Buffett stock, Paramount, it says they steep loss and they slashed their dividend, which is even more bad. And then the Hollywood writers are on strike, which we've talked about before. It's bad out there. I don't know what to say. It looks bad. And moreover, the Fed raised rates, and it turns out that Europe, the European Central Bank, also raised rates. Right? It says slowest pace of rate increases, but they did raise it. And then the other one was, I guess they're not going to be pausing, which is sort of what the headlines were on the Fed yesterday. Although it wasn't like Powell specifically said that they're pausing. It was more like Wall Street, like kind of hoping that they're pausing. And I showed you guys before, like the market was sort of guessing that, they're going to, that means Powell and co. We're going to cut. But I don't know what, I think it's ludicrous myself. I don't think they're going to cut. But that's just my opinion. But you never know. It is a market. I didn't know that we'd have a couple bank rumors of being sold off into parts or whatever, mergers called off today. I didn't know that was happening today. I didn't have any inside info. And also, too, I didn't know that if you're a banker, and I guess you go to Saudi Arabia, that's the place that you want refugee. It says bank pay is surging over there, so we may be getting a huge exodus of people running from the U.S. Wall Street and the New York banks that heading over to Saudi Arabia. That might be a thing. And I've been watching the shares of the various bank stocks. As of now, I've been watching Western Alliance. That was one we just talked about. There may or may not be a halt in that one. I think it's halted trading because the price hasn't moved for a while. I did see a report saying that Western Alliance was saying that first report I just showed you was false, but I have no way to verify it. I was looking around going, okay, what's going on? But this is something that is happening in this kind of market, to where if you get some sort of news that, someone says, hey, I think they're selling something like that, and then the stock goes down 60%, and then the company will issue a statement. That's when when you're in a really bad market, and then they have the halt trading. So no one knows what the truth is for these kind of things anymore, to be perfectly frank. And this is something that any bank would say, oh, well, Part of it is true, and we are exploring options. That's kind of how they put it, or potential options, or they'll come up with some sort of language. But I don't know. I don't doubt the Financial Times report. I'm just telling you the truth is that it is halted, and I did see something about that they're trying to claim that it's false. But this is scary. I lived through the 0809 or 07, 0809, as you could say. But that was the financial crisis, and that one was different because it was like we woke up one day and suddenly everything was crashed. This is I keep calling it a crash in slow motion because there's like different reports that keep getting leaked out. And the other thing is too is I remember we've talked about this several times. I'm sharing with you guys. The Twitter situation was sort of the one that started this. I won't say it started it completely, but started my mind thinking about how big could this possibly get when we knew that Elon Musk wasn't paying rent. And then before, if you guys have been following the channel, you would know this. The whole work from home thing has been really, really serious for the commercial real estate market, right? So, if you're someone who's like borrowing a whole bunch of money because you think, oh my God, this, office building in San Francisco or this office building in New York is going to be awesome. And I'm going to, refurbish it. I'm going to, get this thing. And all these companies are going to move in and I'm going to make tons of cash. And then suddenly pandemic hits, right? You guys know this. And everyone's like working from home and these companies are no longer coming to the office. And some of these companies, like say if they were venture capital and really more riskier startup kind of stuff, they went out of business. Plus you have people not coming into the office, and also too people just flat out like Elon Musk not paying rent, and that's regarding Twitter. It creates a major problem. And then the other issue is everyone, it seems like, and let's say a lot of people, but everyone seems to be underwater. And so if everyone's underwater and no one's paying rent, this is what you're going to get. So we'll see. The people always make the case and get it, guys. They say, oh, when the peak fear, time to be buying. Me personally, with the bank situation, I don't trust the banks. I've said that several times. I lived through the 08 stuff. I mean, it was crazy. And it's hard to trust any of these things. I will say, chances are the big winners are going to be the big banks, right? Your JP Morgans and the Citibanks and stuff like that. But the part of the problem is that if they ended up buying up all of these, banks, like say the regional ones that are failing, they're basically taking on a bunch of bad assets. And then we're looking at bailout situation, which happened before. I mean, we talk about this in this channel. I think that would be wildly unpopular among the American population. I would be wildly unhappy with that myself, full disclosure. But I don't think there's be many people out there that, just regular people out there that would be like, oh yeah, just bail the banks out, use my tax dollars. I'm happy to, socialize your losses. I don't think many people are going to be saying that. And this is the question I have for you guys, and I keep saying it over and over again. I am not sure what the regular person thinks about this, or if this is even on the regular person's radar, like just your average person in the street. I know if you watch this channel, we've been talking about, commercial real estate, the banks, markets, these kind of stuff every day. But regular person, I'm not sure. And so, this was sort of why I asked you guys, what are your thoughts on these things? And the other thing too, which is, put this on top of kind of all of these changes with your employment status, right? Be it companies are trying to cut costs. Like, for example, Spotify, they said, I think they're cutting like 20% of their employees or something like that. Then their stock goes up. So basically Wall Street rewards you for firing people. It's sort of what it is, because you're, quote, cutting costs and helping your company. But obviously that has some effect on the economy if people are, losing their jobs and they can't make their mortgage payments, their car payments, all these things. So everything is connected. That's why we talk about everything on this channel. And I try my best to guys keep you informed. The end of the day today, I think Apple's going to report earnings, and word on the street, maybe not going to be quite as good as Microsoft or Meta. One of the things that is Apple, if their iPhone sales are down, they might have I don't know. They might have increased sales from like their recurring revenue, like your streaming and those kind of things. But I don't know if I think it's going to be enough, because they really do need to be selling handsets. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe Apple will surprise everyone and everyone feels good. But I just feel like there's just too much contagion from the banks. That's my opinion on that. And also too, for those of you who are like, look at charts and stuff like that, one things that don't show up in charts, and I'm just telling you, I lived through .com, I lived through 08, is that if a company fails, you won't find it on the chart anymore. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Because like what happens is a lot of people do, they go back and look at charts like, oh, see, everything comes back, but it's not true. There'll be some things that just don't come back. And then when you search for said company, you won't find it on there. Like I'll example, say pets.com or those kind of things, right? Anyway, so I appreciate your time. Please share your thoughts in this one. And if you have any info on Western Alliance, if this was the report that came out was false or not, because by the time I upload this, things might have changed. So please update that in the comments. So thanks again for your time, guys, and I'll catch you next video.